In today's video, we're going to integrate MailOptin with Google Sheets. Now, to begin, we'll need to go to the Google Cloud Console, and here we'll need to add a new project. So I'm going to click on MailOptin, which is my current project. I'll add a new one, and this time I'm going to call this MailOptin X Google Sheets. We'll also keep the default location and click Create. Next, we'll select the project, and then we're going to go to the dashboard, and hopefully we can find Google Auth. It may be better to just search for it using this search bar. I'm going to type Google Auth, and we'll go to the Google Auth platform. Now here we'll click on Get Started. We'll need to name the app. Once again, it's MailOptin X Google Sheets. We'll also add a user support email. Click Next. Our audience will be external, and we'll click Next again. And we'll also add a contact email. Next. I'll agree to the terms and click Continue. We'll click Create. Next, we'll create an OAuth client by clicking on this button. Now, moving on, our application type is going to be Web Application, and the name we'll use is MailOptin. Next, we'll add an authorized redirect URL. You can find this in the description down below, and keep in mind that you cannot just use it as it is. If you try, you'll get an error message. What you'll need to do is replace the domain with one that's valid. And that should be the domain for your WordPress installation. So once you've added this, you can click on Create. All right, now we'll copy the client ID and keep it somewhere safe. We'll click on OK. Now on the screen, we can click on Edit. We'll copy the client secret. Again, keep it somewhere safe. And we can move on to our API library. So in this library, we need to find the Google Sheets API settings. We'll click on this one. We'll enable it. We'll go back to the library. And now we'll search for Google Drive API. Okay, so here we'll click on that one. We'll enable it. And then we'll go back to Google Auth platform. So once again, I'm going to use the search bar since it's faster. We'll go to our data access tab. Let's add or remove access. Next, we'll filter the scopes to find the correct Google Drive API one. We'll check this one, see, edit, create, and so on. Now we'll clear the filter and find the correct one for Google Sheets. So we're going to type in Google Sheets and we should see the correct API scope that we need. See, edit, create, delete, and so on. All right, so once we update this, we can see our scopes. Under sensitive scopes, we have Google Sheets API, and under restricted scopes, we have Google Drive API. We're going to save this. Then we'll go to Audience and then Publish App. Okay, now we're going to click on Confirm. Okay, now we're going to see a message letting us know that we'll need to submit this app for verification, especially if it's going to be used publicly. However, in our case for private use, we can skip this. All right, so I'm back in the WordPress dashboard, and here we're going to go ahead and configure MailOptin. So let's hover and click on Integrations. Next, we'll go to Google Sheets and click on Configure. We'll add both our client and secret ID and save our changes. And then we'll need to scroll all the way back down to Google Sheets, click on Configure, authorize our account. I'll use my test account. Now, since our app is unverified, we'll see this message. We'll click on Advanced and then click on the link to the domain. Okay, so once again, we're being reminded that our app is not verified. We'll continue. And then once our integration screen loads again, we should see that Google Sheets is now connected. We can now create an opt-in campaign to test it out. I'm going to add a new one. Now let's call it Google Sheets and select a template. Okay, so now we can see the opt-in builder and we have our settings on the left with a preview of our opt-in on the right-hand side. So if we take a look at our settings, we have our design tab where we can customize the design of our opt-in. Now, if we go back to the main menu, we'll see our headline options to edit our headline. By default, it's off, but I can turn it on. Right below, we'll see options to customize the headline color, text, font, and so on. Going back, we have our description tab. It's similar to the headline. It's over here for this template, so you can choose to turn it on or off. There's a note option as well, but it's currently off. And moving on to fields, We'll see an option here to use custom HTML. We can just add the code in this field below. Now, if we need to, we can also display a call to action button by toggling this switch. We can now see the button on the opt-in. Its customization options are also displayed below. If you're using the standard fields, you'll be able to customize each of them. For example, here are the options for the name field, and then we have our email field options. This one is required by default. You can use this button to add a custom field, where you'll need to enter a title, select a type, then customize your colors and font. Here's how you delete the custom field. And next we have our button options. We're going to keep these as default. Okay, so let's go back to our main menu, and here you'll find your configuration options. We'll go back and move on to the integrations tab, which is the most important section for what we are trying to achieve. We can either keep our leads inside MailOptin only, or we can add a new integration. In this case, this is going to be Google Sheets. And then we'll need to select a spreadsheet file. We'll also select a spreadsheet. And next we'll need to map custom fields as a mandatory step. So based on my spreadsheet, I'm going to map name to first name. And then I'll map email to email address. We'll save this. Then we'll turn the opt-in on and save our changes. Now we can visit our website in an incognito window. We just want to test out everything that we have configured. I'll enter a name and email and click on subscribe. Once that is done, I can close this modal, and I'm going to find my Google Sheet. So here we have the lead that I just subscribed. Okay, so this is how you connect Google Sheets to WordPress using MailOptin. Thanks for watching and see you next time.